like to call Wednesday, July 16th, 2025, Land and Facilities Management Committee meeting to order. B, roll call.
Yes, sir. Mr. Henry LaFont, Mr. Myron Wright,
Here.
Ms. Marion D. Fertitta.
Here.
You have a form.
Item 2, domain architecture. To receive a report from Ingrid Williams on Hurricane Item project.
Speaking for Ms. Ingrid is Mr. Travis.
Come on down, Mr. Travis. Well,
How y'all doing?
doing good. Doing good.
Let's see, currently, we have a re-roof project that's going on, that we have a meeting actually tomorrow on that project to get y'all an update on that. Currently, it's still at Nail 3 project, $830,000 project. And it's, they were released to go back to work at the 1st of July, so that's where we're at on that project currently. We did do a mock-up of the standing metal seam roofing, and we discovered some oil canning issues. We called the manufacturer's warranty reps out. It appears to be coming from the deck, from the existing condition in the building itself, but the warranty is going to apply. They're going to accept it and continue on with it and guarantee it for the life of the warranty. Any other questions on that other project? Let's turn it into a big project. Golden Meadow, building 4, 5, and 10. Building 10 is complete except for electrical service that we discovered after we started the project. I think Mr. Sheridan has that proposal for y'all tonight. Building 10, which is the gymnasium, 10 is the field house. Building 5, which is the gymnasium, should be completed finishing on all painting by the end of the week. We held off on building 4, which is air conditioning repairs, doors, because of the little storm that's coming in. We didn't want to open the roofs up and the doors up. So we're going to hold till next week to accomplish that. And building 13, which is some fluid house. That project is still currently at $1,111,433. We still have over $250,000 left on that project to pay out at this time. They're over 80% complete. Building 1, re-roof work is still the only big remaining part of that contract. The demolition and campus improvements for building 3 and 6 has been, contracts have been signed. The contractor has been issued notice to proceed so we can start on all the paperwork. And we're getting that up front now so we can get through all their schedules, whether it's values, construction schedules, and permitting that we're waiting on from the society. Any questions on that?
Yes, sir.
To consider a change order request in the sum of $4,538.94 and add 12 days to the Hurricane Ida Golden Meadow Middle School Building 4, 5, and 10 project.
Yes, sir. The recommended action is to approve the change order request in the sum total of $4,538.94 and to add 12 days for the reconnecting of power to the field house. This is what Mr. Travis was speaking about, to the Golden Meadow School Building 4, 5, and 10 project. This was something that was discovered after we got on site, so it's a Hurricane Ida recoverable item.
Motion by Mr. Teague, I second that. Any public comments? Any board comments?
I'll give you a breakdown real quick. $4,254.94 is the actual change order. There is a design fee because it wasn't caught. We didn't even know the building didn't have power because we were looking at everything else. So there is a design fee adjustment of $284. So that's the breakdown.
That motion passes. Item 3, Salas O'Brien, to receive a report from Doug Dorsey on the HVAC replacement project at Cutoff Elementary School. Mr. Dorsey.
Good evening. During Cutoff Elementary School, we started the project probably about a month ago. We were waiting on HVAC equipment. It has since started to arrive, thank goodness. We have received all of the fan call units for the classrooms. We are missing the bases that they sit on in the classroom. We expect to receive those on Friday, and the contractor is prepared to start working, and he is working over the weekend. All of the indoor units that are in the corridors are installed, but the condensing units we're waiting on. So we got we're doing everything we can. All of the concrete pads are poured for the condensing units. The electrical is about 80% complete. Let's see, they're starting to install units on the classrooms Friday and over the weekend. So you're going to see probably over the next 2 weeks a substantial amount of work. And the contractor has a strategy to execute the project. As of last week, we were about 20% complete with the project because we weren't receiving equipment. There was nothing to install, just demolition, replacing the insulation and whatnot. We are, so you're gonna see some action over the next 2 to 3 weeks.
You'll see some big happy smiles too.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Other than that, that's about it for the project.
Will it be ready when school starts?
That is the goal. We expect to have the classrooms ready. The equipment that is outstanding, the condensing units that we expected those condensing units 2 weeks ago. So we hope to have those and they will be installed as soon as they're received. But I don't know about those pieces of equipment. But the classroom units, we expect to be completed before school starts.
And we've been working with Ms. Collins, right, there is kind of a plan B of rooms that, possibly can be ready, and she's worked it out. We have a plan to make it happen, but until we get there, we are shooting to have it all in place.
Thank you, Mr. Dorsey.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thanks, Doug.
Item 4, Gaston Holloway Cortez, to receive a report from Justin Cortez on the admin/classroom addition project at St. Charles Elementary School. Cortez?
Board members, how we just doing this evening. Quick update on St. Charles. The brick is currently being installed, which then it's actually pretty much done at this point. So if you pass by, you'll see it's all up. All the windows have been installed on the project. The interior block has received first coat of primer and the first coat of paint. So you can kind of start to see how the inside's coming together now. Once we get the building conditioned, they'll put final coat on. The roofing system is currently being completed now that the brick's done. We have the sprinkler system, above ceiling roofings for plumbing and electrical systems are all being completed, and the ceiling the ceiling work is being completed throughout the building. And the contractor has poured, I have one section on here, but they actually just poured a second section in the front. So the driveway is, I think, 1 pour away from being connected to LA1. So they're getting close on that. The goal is to try to get that in before school starts. So moving on to the other 2 buildings on site that we're doing work on. Building 1, all the interior finishes and the renovation have been completed. The ceilings tile just needs to be dropped in, and a few little button-up things need to be done there. And then in building number 3, all the flooring was removed and demoed, and then the new flooring has been installed in building number 3, and that one's complete. We punched that out, so the contractor knows what to fix there. And that's it for this project.
Yeah. That one too, we've been working with Ms. LeBlanc, because it is a major construction site there, right? The contractor's doing a great job as far as safety and all that. There's no concerns there. but it is a major construction site, and even with this cement poured, it's gonna be something we're gonna deal with, but
Do you think possibly the new bus is gonna be available for the
It-
beginning of school?
it will, but that will also temporarily be all the staff parking and all the, right? So that's what I'm saying, until we get through this next phase, which we're hoping for November, right? It's gonna be rough.
Yes,
There's no other way around it. We're doing it on the active school side.
right.
Like, it's like the,
And there's not a lot of space. And yeah, it's a tight spot.
Yeah.
What about the outside of the old building? You ever do anything to spruce that up?
yeah, that's already been, painted, they repainted, the building. And, they're gonna be adding some, metal panels across the bottom to close out the front, so.
Item B, to consider a change order request in the sum of $6,423, God bless you,
Thank you.
and 60 cents, and add 6 days to the St. Charles Elementary Classroom Addition Project.
Yes, sir. The recommended action is to approve the change order request in the sum total of $6,423.60 for an unforeseen subsurface sewer piping conflict, and to add 6 days due to adverse weather conditions for the month of June 2025 to the St. Charles Elementary Classroom Addition Project.
Any motion? Motion by Mr. Teeter, second by myself. Any public comments? Any board comments? If not, good vote. And that motion passed. Thank you, Mr. Cortez.
Thank you, Judge.
Item 5, Sherry plus Bruce Architects, to receive a report from Mr. Daniel Bruce on various repair projects.
Luckily, Daniel Bruce is on his way to Alaska to spend some time with his kids, so I'll give you an update real quick. I do have some pictures though. If you want to pull up the transportation picture.
Okay.
On the transportation center, they did pour the slab and have that done. They are proceeding on schedule. We're still shooting for opening that facility in December, January. So that is going good. That slab has all been poured now and it's all done. On the Golden Meadow Lower Hurricane Ida project, they are building the bus drop-off area and canopy. We was hoping to have this done before school starts. It'll be tight. There was a delay on the delivery of it. So that is continuing. It should be done within the first week or so of school. The South Lafourche HVAC project proceeds along, and we are hoping to have the entire 800 wing ready for the start of school. That's like the big next step, and then once school starts, we'll get it and we'll start doing sections at a time. So, yes, sir.
Item B, to consider a change order request to add 16 days to the LPSD Transportation Center project.
Yes, the recommended action from Land and Facilities is to approve the change order request to add 16 days for adverse weather conditions in the month of May 2025 and June 2025 to the LPSD Transportation Center project.
Motion by Mr. Teeter, second by myself. Any public comments? Any more board comments?
I just want to say, I like the calendar that shows exactly the days where they are, where they're rained out. or where
Yeah,
they're-
actually, yeah.
I like that, yes. Easy to see. I wish Mr. LaFont was here.
Any more comments? If not, we can vote. And that motion passed. Item C, to consider a change order request to accept a sum credit of $12,331.90 and add 16 days to the Hurricane Ida Golden Meadow Lower Elementary School and Salafouche High School project.
Yes, the recommended action is to approve the change order request to accept a sum credit of $12,331.90 for various omitted items and add 16 days for adverse weather conditions to the LPSD Transportation Center project.
Any motion? Motion by Mr. Peters, second by myself. Do we have any public comments? Do we have any more board comments?
Let me just explain real quick. This is not items that are being removed haphazardly, right, to save money or anything like this. This is just when we bid the project, we do line item bidding and unit bidding, and these items will just not be needed. So we're going to get the credit back on those. Be aware that this is coming from.
That motion passed. Item 6, the Planning Design Group. To receive a report from Blaise Dufresne on various. Dufresne, how you doing?
Good. So I guess the first one I'll do is Bayou Middle School, the re-roofing of the gymnasium building. The current liquidated damage date is July 20th, and we're actually scheduled to do a substantial completion walkthrough tomorrow morning for that job. So they're pretty well along and incomplete. So do that tomorrow, and pretty sure we'll have substantial completion. The Central Lafourche and Thibodeau High School field house roof replacements. The contracts have been executed, and I believe the contractor has recorded the contract. We have a pre-construction meeting on that project to get started with the notice to proceed, scheduled for July 29th, which is Tuesday after next, on that project to get started. And then the hurricane repairs to multiple locations. We had, let's see, they had a meeting today, actually, a Progress OAC meeting earlier this morning. And I believe that 3 sites are complete right now. I think it was some minor site work repairs at those sites. Golden Meadow, Raceland Lower, and South of Rose. They've completed the work there, Osceola Construction. They're currently working at Raceland Upper Elementary, I think replacing ceiling tiles on the interior. So that work is progressing along. And that's what I have.
Thank you, thank you.
This miscellaneous project was just to pick up all those little items that, we missed during this month.
Item 7, Castanon, Goodwin, Utley, engineer. To receive a report from Robert Utley on various repair projects. Mr. Robert?
We actually have Mr. Taylor subbing in.
Yes,
Come on down.
hi everyone, I'm Taylor LeBlanc, I'm a mechanical engineer at Castleman's Goodwin Utley Engineers. I know you haven't met me before, but I've been there for about 3 years now. So I'll be taking care of Robert's place today. So starting off first with the Hurricane Ida Galliano Elementary School Annex Building outside air renovations. That project is basically complete at this point. All the systems are running. We actually did a substantial completion walkthrough today, so you can expect to have a recommendation for substantial completion at the next meeting. Also, we did some miscellaneous sealing of the building. The attic was ventilated previously, and now it's sealed. And what we observed today at the site, a lot of the humidity issues that they've had should be taken care of. And then moving on to the boiler replacement at Bayou Blue Middle School for the Lafourche Parish School Board. This project, we just received a clear lien certificate for it, so we will be recommending final payment soon. We're just waiting on some more documentation from the contractor. And then for the sewer piping renovations at South Lafourche High School, this project is also mostly complete at this point. We're going to be recommending substantial completion at the next month's board meeting for it. I walked the site today, they completed all the patchwork and stuff that was still outstanding on it. There is some items that were unforeseen, but we should have some credits in the job to be able to take care of all of those, so we don't expect to have to increase the sum of the project. And that's a summary of all three of our outstanding projects with you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kelly.
You're welcome.
Item 8, Grove Flores and Positary. To receive a report from Andy Positary on various Hurricane Ida repair projects. Mr. Andy?
All right, good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
I've got 3 different projects I'll give just some informational updates only on tonight. The first one's going to be the demolition at Mighty Bluff Elementary School. So we're on the tail end of that work. All of the buildings have been removed. There's a little bit of site work that's going to get dressed up. Contractors coordinating right now with Entergy to relocate the power pole to another location and then make some other little connections back to the 2 existing buildings that are remaining. But we're getting to the tail end of all of that work. The contractor will bring in some fill dirt and spread that so that we've got kind of a nice building pad for the next phase of this project. But again, we're getting to the tail end. The contract time is expected to expire on the 24th of this month right now, so next week. We probably will, not probably, we will come to you in August and likely ask for some additional adverse weather days because the contractor hasn't requested any days yet for June and this month. So far, obviously it's been pretty wet. So I do anticipate coming back to you next month with an adverse weather request. But other than that, we're getting to the tail end of that and don't foresee any issues there. So if there's any questions, I'm happy to answer them on that one. If not, so moving on to the new construction portion of the project, happy to report that we're out for bids right now on the new building. We advertised on that last week on July 9th, and I'll just give you some dates real quick. We're scheduled to open bids on August 7th. We'll come before you at the August 20th land and facility meeting with what we're hoping is a good bid recommendation that's in budget. And scheduled September 3rd for board approval. So if everything goes as we anticipate, we're hoping to issue a notice to proceed on or about October 1st. And our contract time brings us through March or April of 27. So hoping to get that facility open and operational by the summer of 2027. So we start the 27th school year in this building. Scheduling it to end in March or April gives us a couple of months. If we have to get, if adverse weather becomes an issue, we're giving ourselves a 2 or 3 month cushion. That should be enough to do that and get that built on time. So that's all I have on that project. If there's any questions, happy to take it. If not, the third report I have is the Central Lafourche High School roof replacement. This was actually part of Central Lafourche, C.M. Washington, and Thibodeau High. We're now down to the final little scopes of work at Central Lafourche High, which is patching the high level roof, painting the steel that's exposed, and also painting the steel that's exposed at Thibodeau High. Obviously, weather's an issue right now for them to complete that work. As I've been reporting the last few months, the contractor is severely behind schedule on this project, to the tune of today probably about $292,000 of liquidated damages and counting. So we're continuing to monitor that closely. We'll have a meeting with the contractor next week, and as we've been having progress meetings, but they understand the issue. I don't see a sense of urgency to resolve the issue, so we'll present some options to staff for sure to try to nudge this thing along.
When was the original completion date?
It was June, I think, of July of last year or something. July year past. It's we're way back. July 11th of 24 was the completion date. So again, I've been reporting this every month to you, and we're keeping a close eye on it. And we've had constant discussions with the contractor on this one. So we'll try to get this one wrapped up here pretty quickly, one way or the other. Again, have it take any questions on that. All right.
Thank you, Mr.
Thank
Andy.
you very much.
Item 9, All South Consulting Engineer to receive a report from Mr. Bob Bernard on the Hurricane Ida recovery status. Mr. Bernard?
Okay, thank you. So good news, since we ended with bad news, we'll start with good news or not. So we had positive feedback from FEMA. They had a call on Friday with Mr. Eddie Williams with FEMA, who's been our key guy to help push things along with the folks in CRC and who's working these projects. We had the phone call today with my team. Most of the good news, we still have some outstanding issues, but they're progressing. So we're seeing movement, which is good. On the press boxes, if I think the last I reported to you guys that they had cut our number by like 2/3. Well, since they brought it back and they agreed to our number. So the number is, I think it was 625,000 is what we presented, right? So that's the number that Grindhouse Shipyard gave to do both press boxes and then soft costs, we call it, all the administrative stuff and everything else with it. So it hadn't cleared all the hurdles, but it cleared the major one. So we just have to let it clear out. Okay? ROTC chair, we're still going back and forth with FEMA on this one. The chair building is going to be the big question mark. We knew that was going to be close. So FEMA 50, we thought, but it was right at the 50%. So anything over 50% in damages compared to replacement, when you're that close to 50, you have issues, and we're having issues. So that one could go either way. But ROTC, I think, is going to be a FEMA 50. We'll be okay with that one, but chair may not. So stay tuned. All right, good news on go to middle and value buffer from the EHP side. We still don't have costing done yet, but the EHP part of it, which is the environmental protection part, has passed. Okay, that was going to hold up us starting, especially at Value Buff, work on that project. Go to middle, we had a little time, but still both of those is good news. Now, again, the caveat to that, we don't have the paperwork yet. So that's pending because they don't like to put that before the building's approved. But since the building, we know the footprint won't change, we're not adding any square footage based on what's already done, then we should be able to get EHP approval sooner than later. So good news on that one. All right, building 500, Bayou Blue. Right. This one is still in limbo with EHP, not EHP, with the FEMA site inspector. We're not sure where this is going, but the concern was the building itself and getting it torn down. So we were able to start the advanced EHP process on this one, which will expedite the review and at least let us tear the building down, which is a concern, right? The building we know is not going to be kept, so we need to tore down, so this is going to help push that through. And then the HVAC replacement, that too is still pending. Okay, any questions on any of those? All right, bidding, no real changes on the bidding. If we can go to the pictures, I think there should be some pictures attached. So this is go to middle. This is pretty much where they finished all the sandblasting, bead blasting of the walls, got it back down to the brick. Brick's going to be sealed, right, and not repainted, so it came out pretty good. The roof deck is being painted. I don't think that picture they have started. Go to the next one. Yeah. Okay, the dark color is the primer, by the way. Okay, the finished coat is going to be a lighter color, so that's just the primer coat. Next one. All right, that's the roof project, obviously the historical building. So weather's been hurting them a little bit with rain, but they're trucking along. They're going to get it done, but we're in that process. Next one. And just another picture. You can see the dormers are framed in, but roofing is continuing on that project. This is South Lafourche High School. Talked about working the 800 area, the two-story classroom building, insulation, ductwork, all of that's getting completed, wrapped up, and then ceilings will go back in. So things are moving along at South Lafourche. Continue, please. just more duct work. That last time we looked at this, there was no duct in the building. Since then, duct has been added and insulated. All right, Bayou Middle School, so that's the gym floor completed. That's the one we're gonna do the final inspection on tomorrow. So that roof is done and gym floor is done, just waiting for it to cure for them to start using it. And then the updated schedule, a few changes, minor, but you can see how things are progressing along, so you can reference that to see when the project's gonna start and finish. Okay. Any questions? All right, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Bob. Item 10, new business. To consider a request from South Louisiana Community Orchestra to waive the fees for the use of the band room at Thibodeau Middle School.
Just the recommended action is to approve the request from South Louisiana Community Orchestra to waive the fees for use of the band room at Thibodeau Middle School for a 3-year period. The requester would be responsible for the $300 damage deposit and custodial fees. And we are in the process of working with Ms. Carmel Grove to get their insurance up to the requirement. And we have Ms. Bonnie Lee.
I'm president of the community orchestra. I was a product of the Lafourche Parish String Program that they had here in the 70s. And I took it from 3rd grade to high school, and I actually went to school for music, and I teach at Fletcher. I'm a professor of music there, and I'm also a violin teacher. I've been teaching here in this area for over 40 years. This is a community group, and we would really appreciate the use of the band room. Probably 75% of our players are in the Thibodeau area. We've been using Terrebonne Parish's home junior high for rehearsal space, but we would like to get more into the Thibodeau area. We use a lot of Nichols students in our community orchestra and things of that nature. So if you have any questions for me.
When our next community event?
Well, we're trying to get this worked out so that we can have rehearsals to have, we're doing a partnership with Nichols Choir to have an orchestra / choir concert for the Christmas concert in December. And we usually do 4 concerts a year, but we're restructuring right now, and so we're trying to cut costs because our only funds are through donations and grants, which are going away next year, I heard, with budget cuts. And so we're trying to find ways to be creative with our concerts. So.
Motion?
So.
Motion by Ms. Marion, second by myself. Any more public comments? Any more board comments? Any board comments?
I have never even heard of the
We got our charter nonprofit status in 2003, but we've mainly been staying in the Houma area, and that's just kind of out of necessity, but and availability. But we are looking to try and move more in the Thibodeau area.
And these are like student age or?
We have ages 4 years old up through 80s maybe. Our former president just retired at 87. It's mainly a string, so we have violin, violas, cellos, but we also have wind instruments, brass instruments, percussion. A lot of the Lafourche Parish band directors play with us. We've partnered with Vanderbilt High School, H.F. Bourgeois. In the past, a lot of the Nichols professors are guest conductors of our orchestra. We've had concerts at the Military Museum, First Baptist Church there, and St. Matthew's Church. We have performances there. So we do a lot of partnering with community choirs and groups like that. So the group is anywhere from 30 to 50, depending on when we have special people come in and play with us.
And did you have violin? Did you do that with Miss Matthews?
So I actually it started with Miss Offman, who lasted a year or so, and then it was Marion Toops.
Right, but Joanne Matthews, our former superintendent.
Oh, yes. Joanne was in violin with me through high school. That's right, she was.
Okay, just wanted to know.
I was wondering the same thing.
And you know, they were gonna shut the program down, and my mom came and fought for them to leave it open, and they said, y'all graduate high school. And so we now have several music teachers in this area that I've taught, and I have one that's in high school now that's going into music education, so that pay forward, you know, really worked with that program.
That's great.
Ms. Lee, where can someone find information about?
So we have a Facebook page, South Louisiana Community Orchestra, and we are trying to get, do a little bit more social, a little bit more presence, social media presence and stuff, and things. Our former board were a little older, so it was more, less technology was used, so we're trying to kind of get more out there, social media. But I'm gonna try and post as much as I can on social media in the future for that. And Ms. Young offered to go video our practices and post it everywhere, because I'm sorry, I love her, I wouldn't have met her, I was like, but.
And that motion passed. Thank you, Ms.
Thank
Bonner.
you.
Thank you, Ms. Bonner. Item B, to receive a request, I'm sorry. Item B, to receive a report from Lee Attorney Sasha Chestnut in reference to ongoing project budgets. Ms. Chestnut.
Good evening. The 2017 bond has a total referendum of $19.8 million. The total budgets for these projects are $19.8 million, and we have actuals spent to date with encumbrances total $17.9 million. All those funds are obligated. The 2021 bond has a total referendum of $53.1 million. The total budgets for these projects are $53.1 million. Actual spent to date with encumbrances total $46.8 million, and all funds are obligated.
Thank you, Ms. Chestnut. Item C, to consider a request to hire Salvage O'Brien for the Central Lafourche High School scoreboard modification project.
Yes, the recommended action is to accept the request to hire Sallis O'Brien for the Central Lafourche High School scoreboard modification project with an OPC of $300,000 with funding to be provided by Central Lafourche High School.
Any motion? Motion by Ms. Latif, second by myself. Any public comments? Any board comments? Not. And that motion passed. There be no further business questions or comments. This business is adjourned.